Sometimes, pubbies can get you really down. It's difficult to win any games, you feel like you're not playing up to your usual standards because you're pissed off, and when you're pissed off you don't play so well. What's the solution to that? It's the Panzer 2J. Deadmon hadn't actually seen this thing in action before, so I told him to ready up in his T2 light tank since he didn't have a tier 3 pref, which he did. We ended up with the best possible map for this tank, Himmelsdorf. There really is no better place to bring this thing. And so with two typical low tier teams of people who just don't know what they're doing, I took the 2J into battle once again. The only downside to the 2J, sorry I can't speak, 2J is that it is slow. It does take some time to get to the fight, but once it's in the fight, it doesn't really need to worry about its speed because it doesn't need to back out of it in a hurry. So I roll down Heavy Alley. I know I'm going to get some opposition here. And sure enough, two tanks, a third coming, and I just roll into their faces, shooting as their shells bounce off me harmlessly. One of them, I think that was the Type 91, has the bright idea of firing HE at me. It does a little bit of damage, but he doesn't last long. Now you can see me kind of hugging the corner here and backing up to reload. I didn't actually need to do that. In fact, I could have happily driven into the middle of these guys and they wouldn't be able to pen my rear armor, let alone my front. The reason I was backing up is because I wasn't sure if one of them was going to suddenly whip out an HE round, which will actually happen eventually. However, it becomes clear that none of them actually have HE slinging guns. They're all autocannons or small caliber guns, and so it's a matter of just driving into them and holding left mouse. I can happily sit with my side turned to the 1C because he can't pen me. Unfortunately for Deadmon, he's not in a 2J and he gets his shit wrecked by the 1C. I'm able to avenge him, and then roll into the Panzer 2, which gives me a nice little position to engage this guy from. Down he goes. And down goes the Vesper. Premiun of Shit, complains the M2 Light, having been taken aback by the ability of a single tank to push into about 5 of his teammates while not taking damage from any of them. Yep, that's the 2J. Now, one thing that does keep coming up, well obviously it's going to keep coming up, is the accuracy of the 2J's gun. For an autocannon, it handles very well, it aims almost instantly, it's barely affected by recoil, it's just a fantastically well-handled gun for this tier. The reason it's like this is because the 2J has no pen. It needs to fire gold to even damage most tanks in its tier. And so, a typical trade-off for bad pen is good handling, whereas a trade-off for good pen or good alpha is poor handling. You can see this manifesting itself up the Soviet tank line with the low alpha, moderate pen, well I guess moderate to high pen mediums getting very good gun handling, and the high alpha, relatively high pen heavies getting atrocious gun handling. In any case, the 2J benefits enormously from this because if you do happen to shoot gold and if you do happen to pick your targets well, it means you can basically just drive into people firing and pop them as you go, which I did this match. So I end up with just over 1,000 damage, which is pretty fucking serious in a tier 3. That's a lot of damage for this tier. You usually won't see over 1,000 until you get up into tier 4 or 5. I've picked up 7 kills. Deadmon unfortunately did get stomped. The T2 Light just doesn't have the staying power that this thing does, but he was able to finally see what it looks like when a Panzer 2J is unleashed on a tier 3 match on Himmelsdorf. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as ever, I'll see you on the next one.